welcome back to the studio today, guys. We're going to finish up that ATST. Got me a nice little shallow box that one of my orders came in from Amazon. Some play sand from Home Depot. And one of my favorite tools of choice is just wood glue in an applicator bottle. Makes it really good to get into the nooks and the crannies. Now this is a first for me. This model has a lot of variation, and you can see the rocks that I painted that did not make it on the paint video. That is 3 different shades of tan. So basically started with a dark tan, a medium tan, then a dry brush with a light tan. We're going to start out with just using the same brush I used to paint the ATST with. These are some of my favorite brushes to work with. They're cheap. I get these at Hobby Lobby. I get a big bag of them. They can last me 2 to 3 years, honestly, for various projects. Now this brush I've used in several projects. I just make sure between steps here, I just keep the brush in one of my water glasses so that it just stays pliable, and then we'll clean it out good. And yeah, you can use white glue, this wood glue. I like the wood glue, guys, because of the colorant that's in it. Okay, it tends to match better. It doesn't get glossy like the white glue can when it dries, and it's thicker. It's just easier to work with. It doesn't run all over the place, and this model is sitting up, right? But I can't stress enough to get a big bag of these applicator bottles from Amazon. I think I got 10, 15 in a shot here. And yeah, working with my new camera mount over here on my build table. It's right in front of my what is that? I think it's a 30-inch flat screen. Samsung flat screen smart TV. I watch my YouTube videos when I'm not over in the gaming hall. It works really good. Highly recommend it. You don't really need a laptop or a computer. You just get a bunch of crap inside of the keyboards. I had a computer on this build table a while ago, maybe a couple years ago, but I found the smart TV is the way to go. You can watch your YouTube videos, your Amazon Prime, Netflix. Something good to have when you're down in the sanctuary for me. So just spreading the stuff around. This take a couple of applications with sand, especially when the model is basically has slopes all around it. It's going to take a couple applications in areas. But yes, this new gaming area and the lower level of my home. I've already had my office down here for, almost 12 years. And I say that this has really become a sanctuary. It's peaceful down here. No one bothers me. It's been really, really nice. I really needed it. I worked long and hard for this. I feel like I deserve it at this point. My own space that I can do whatever I want with. So yeah, we're just working around here. I can't get it on super thick on the sides, or it'll tend to want to run down as the sand dries. So there, your little box. I found that is the perfect size, and just liberally sprinkle the sand on. You get a bag of play sand at Home Depot, and it's just lasts and lasts and lasts. It makes a good medium for soil if you don't want to use my traditional Vallejo basing product, especially in a situation like this. There's a lot of nooks and crannies, and you can add, once the sand completely dries, you can add a wash to it just by dropping it on. You don't have to brush it on. It'll soak in. You can use your dark browns, you can use your medium browns, light browns, and then put flocking on top of that, and it really does make it look like soil. Or just keep it sand if you want a sand effect. Now we're going for an alien planet here. So we're going to start with a base of sand. And then we're going to go to like a sand, kind of an alien looking flocking. Now you see it's dried. And you can still see some of the dark base coat coming through just a little bit. It's kind of nice to leave a little bit of that, and you'll see what I'm going to do here. It adds some nice color variant to the piece. And you can see he was walking in a more of an earthen area, and then he stumbled up and fell over onto this almost like a bluff. And before I do my final base coat, or after I do my final base coat, I'm sorry, since the base coat is going to be dull coat, basically a dull, I don't use dull coat, I use an airbrush to brush on a dull top coat. And then I'll come back with my top coat that has more of a gloss to it, and just brush that on around the feet to make that look like wet mud. Like he's come up out of a kind of a low-lying area and just stumbled and crashed after being shot, and fallen over on a bluff area. I'm gonna also use some lichen. I've got some lichen hanging around here in the studio. I like the lichen with these sci-fi applications, Warhammer 40K, etc., because it looks like alien plants, right? Turn around, do the other side, do another coat on this other side. I think wood glue, it dries pretty quick. I was working on another project while I waited between drying stages. We're talking 30 to 45 minutes. It was dry enough to do this step where I could just, brush on another layer of glue. So it's, I can't claim fame to using wood glue. It's something I saw in a YouTube video years ago. I thought, you know what, that's a good idea, because I do have cases where that white glue will bleed through flocking or sand or whatever basing material I'm using, and it will look glossy and shiny. And this, you just don't get that with this. And it's the tone of this glue is an earth tone, so and it also takes the washes, the Vallejo washes, very well. They will soak into that. Another dollop of sand. You can see it's perfect for this purpose, for this type of model, because it's getting in all those little nooks and crannies. It's given the model some texture too. Knock off the excess. Rinse, wash, repeat. Now let that dry. Now we're going to come in. This is another type of flocking from Woodland Scenics. It's just an earth texture. You got a bunch of different colors in here. You've got some reds, some tans, a little bit of browns. It'd be good for desert landscape. In this case, an alien landscape. This is something different. Honestly, I had a full bag and never been opened for it's probably been sitting in my main scenery drawer. It's pretty deep drawer, big deep drawer. It was at the very bottom. I'm like, hey, I got some stuff in here I've never used. So I said, hey, let's break this out. Let's use this on this model. It'll be perfect. I also found that bag of lichen. It was at the bottom of that drawer. And this is what happens. I'll eventually get an IKEA craft storage system that I can centralize all of my flocking and all my basing materials all in one place. And I'm going to get something that will, in my hobby cubby, I can mount to the walls. So I've got my 4 shelves holding projects in various stages, and then I'll put up a couple of those IKEA storage shelves that will act as storage for all my basing. It starts to add up, guys. You start over years, you start to collect a lot of stuff. And now that I have a place to really put it out where I can see it and it's not buried in a drawer, still waiting on those Besta storage and display cabinets. Thanks, COVID. Just brushing it in. Just take your time, guys. Let your creative energy flow here. You know, just follow your instincts. There's really no wrong way to do this. It's just you know, just let it go. Just sprinkle it on. It doesn't have to cover all the sand. I want that variation. I want that sand texture next to the almost like an alien grass texture. And then we're going to come in with the lichen. I'm going to position the lichen so that it looks like you fell over on a bunch of shrubs on the top of this bluff. And then we'll stick some ornamental grasses in the nooks and crannies around the rocks. That's kind of the plan. All right, now let that dry good, 30 minutes or so. All right, sorry for the shaky cam there, guys. I think I bumped my top down. You see, these are perfect. There's a lighter shade of green. Woodland Scenic sells a bag of lichen that is several different colors, and then you can get colors that are like pinks and blues and oranges. That would really work good for a alien landscape, either terrain or whatever it is you're going to go for. So, and they're kind of stringy, and they're kind of stemmy. I kind of pulled off some of the stemmy parts, so it looked like they were the bottoms of a shrub. And old Mr. ATST got nailed by some sort of a big blaster or blasting weapon there on the side and knocked him straight over, right onto the shrubs, to his final resting place. All right, now we're going to come with some Army Painter. I've got a variety of manufacturers that I use, whatever I can grab off Amazon. I am using eBay more. I really like being able to use the PayPal. And the other thing I've used over the holidays is when I get on my Warlord or Noble Knight Games, places I've ordered other kits, I've used the PayPal. They now have the PayPal option, which is a lot more secure. And if there's any kind of problems with the shipment or the product, PayPal will stand behind it. If you don't get a refund from the manufacturer or the supplier, PayPal will refund that money for you, and they'll go after them. So that's a good option. You'll notice it's on a lot more of the websites now is this PayPal payment option. So yeah, I'm just going around with some different size grass plumes. I had a little bit left from another manufacturer I just wanted to get rid of. Now I'm going to go in. The nice thing about these Army Painter grass tufts is they're in varied sizes, as you can see. They got really tiny ones and medium ones and big ones. Thanks for coming along for the ride today, guys, and I'll see you on the next video. Ciao.